up? Welcome to the Chill Vibes Sports Podcast with your host, Pate, and your co host, Jordan, where we talk sports without the clickbait. Now, with that being said, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Chill V Podcast, where we will have all our links to our social media in the bio. And if you have any recommendations, please email us at chillvibesportspod@gmail. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Look, waiting for my just looking to get reimbursed for all the money that I lost during the game, man.
Yeah. Prize picks weren't hitting.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
A little
Complete
off on
loss.
some of them.
Yes. Extremely off.
Yeah, that was a tough game to bet on.
It really was.
I'll just jump right into it with y'all. Did this game play out like you thought it would or could, or is it a big surprise?
So no, it did not play out like I thought it would. I thought Joe Burrow the whole entire night was gonna be under duress every single time he dropped back to throw. But it didn't happen until the second half. Really, when they started getting pressure home, I was just really surprised. In that first half, they wasn't really getting to him at all. It was very shocking to me.
Man, the only thing that really surprised me was I didn't really think that the Bengals would ever have control in this game. And for a good portion there, it felt like they were controlling the game. I really wish, they could have definitely played it out better. But they definitely had the Rams up against the wall for a long time during this game.
Yeah, that's kind of my complaint right there. Is I thought the Bengals had a point where they could have really sealed the game, and they didn't do that.
Yeah, I think that key play was definitely Tyler Boyd. I think that was in the fourth quarter. He dropped that freaking pass that was going to be a first down, most likely, and it was probably going to keep driving on that play. Yeah, that really hurt.
One thing I was surprised about was the aggressiveness. It was first drive of the game for the Bengals, 4th and 1 on the 50, and they go for it.
Yeah, Zach Taylor.
First possession.
I would have gone for that too.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like I was like, man, you playing the Rams, like,
yeah,
I don't know, but still, I was like, I don't know, maybe they should punt, but shit, I know Zach Taylor, he really ballsy, so
I just wasn't expecting that in the first possession.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, I would say that I wasn't surprised by how it turned out. Like I could have easily seen this game going this way, but just the fact that it wasn't a little bit more offensive driven and it was more defensively driven, that surprised me a little bit. I could have seen either defense taking over, and they still both scored 20 points, but it was really surprising that the offenses never really had their way fully with the defense.
Nope, not at all. Well, I feel like it would have been they would have had that way the Rams if possibly Odell didn't get hurt, because that took a tremendous drop off once he did get hurt.
Yeah,
we saw, because I swear that man's probably going for at least over 100 yards receiving.
Every bit of it. Yeah,
he was going off for that game, and then Van Jefferson just didn't really step up into his spot.
Like
you can never think Van Jefferson would beat him, but
yeah.
Well, Pate, I want to hit on a point that me and you have been talking about for weeks.
We'll go ahead and jump straight to that one real quick.
This Jalen Ramsey got exposed. He was horrible. He was awful. Jamar Chase gave him hell for 4 quarters. He could not stick with him, and the only time he did was when he was holding on to something. He couldn't keep up with him. Even on the 4th and 1 to end the game, if you looked at Jamar Chase, he's wide open down the sideline because Ramsey just got burnt. If Burrow had time, that was a touchdown. That game's over. Bengals win. But Jalen Ramsey couldn't hang with anybody. He was getting exposed play after. He was horrible. He was bad. And, it's really starting to question how much more faith I can, keep in Jalen Ramsey moving forward, because he was not good in this playoffs at all. Top to bottom, he was bad.
He got beat on some not crazy routes either. He got absolutely smoked on a little stop and go route. I think it was right before halftime.
Yeah. And the only play I say it wasn't his fault. T. Higgins shit, motherfucker about ripped his face mask off. Right, that's the one I was like, okay. But yeah, he was getting he was definitely a lot of people starting to see like Ramsey, like that defensive line makes him look good, man. Like, because they get home so quickly, he don't really got to do too much out there. And you see what happens when you have elite talent goes up against them. I mean, really in the NFC, you know, I mean, maybe the best receiver he faces in that division is probably what I don't know, DeAndre Hopkins, you know,
maybe
DK Metcalf and Debo. So, like, I mean,
yeah, I don't know what his deal was to this playoffs, but it was just every week I was like, okay, he was not good. Okay, he was not good. And then I was thinking he's got to bounce back. I don't know if it's jitters, if he's nervous, or we're just seeing the real Jalen Ramsey. But I mean, he just wasn't good. I mean, he wasn't. He was bad. It was not fun to watch him play because it felt like he was getting targeted, you know. And he's one of the guys you normally don't hear from, like when it comes to like targets during the game. And he was just. It felt like they were going at him. And I mean, you know, props to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. Props to those guys. They really went after him, but I mean, he just wasn't as effective as I thought he would be.
He's just not what he's been, because of course everybody is going to, like, online will jump on Jalen Ramsey and say he's overrated. I mean, he during the regular season he played phenomenally. He played exactly how he's played all year. It's just like you say, I don't know if it's jitters or what it is, because he just wasn't there at all. Like, even if people aren't targeting him in the regular season, he was getting tackles. He was always around. And then in this game, the only time you see him is when they're throwing the ball near him. He's not in the run game. He's not getting tackles in the right there at the line of scrimmage. He's not doing anything like he would normally be doing. He's just getting the ball thrown at him. It was just odd to see, and then to see it 4 games in a row. So,
yeah, I'm not going to jump to the conclusion and say he's overrated. I think that's too far. I mean, going into the playoffs, you couldn't. I wasn't taking anyone else as the best corner in football besides Jalen Ramsey. But now it's looking at like, okay, what was going on? Was he hurt? Like, because that was pathetic. I was sitting there when you're watching the game and you see him get burnt over. And, you know, I will say that first time he got burnt by Jamar Chase, that was a great catch. But just still, the fact that he was just getting – I mean, you can watch the tape and it didn't even look like he was in the game at all. I mean, he was just not – I don't know what's going on with him. That was not a good showing out of Jalen Ramsey. I mean, he gave up 170 yards receiving in that game. That's horrible. That's terrible. Terrible.
That's Eli Apple numbers there. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, man. Like I said, you know, like I said a while ago, man. I think we're starting to see what happens. Like, that's what happens to any good corner, though. You know, the D line don't get home. You know, you're going to get some elite receivers. You know what I mean? You know, the coverage definitely is going to be there, like it usually is. So that's what, like I said, that's what made Richard Sherman look so good in his heyday. Like when he played for Seattle, you know, we had like a defensive line that could get to the quarterback, you know, within seconds or so, and the man really didn't have to do nothing, man. Like, seriously. So
another key one there is Josh Norman.
Yeah, Josh Norman.
Yeah,
that's another
you're
one.
Exactly right. Good job.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
That dude
really,
was elite, and then just went downhill. It was weird. He went from
change his systems and also not having the pass rush like he had it with Carolina when he went to Washington. Like, crazy, man.
He fell off the face of the earth.
Exactly.
He sure did. You got anything on that, Chum?
No, I think y'all hit it pretty good.
So it was, of course, surprising Jalen Ramsey not being there yet again. But was there anything else that really surprised? You know, what was the most surprising thing about the game to you? It could be a player, how they
Let me get into
coached,
this one.
what was going on to it.
Let me go ahead and throw this out there. 3rd and 1 on the 50, a minute left. Joe Mixon has 4.5 yards of carry. Where the hell is Joe Mixon on 3rd and 1? Why is Samaje Perine running the football? 3rd and 1 on the 50. Yeah. All they need was 10, 15 yards to kick a field goal and tie the game. And you were running the ball with Samaje Perine. Was he hurt? I have no explanation for where the hell Joe Mixon was. I mean, why was he not in the game? He had 15 carries for 78 yards in that game. That's really good against the Rams.
Yeah. I was surprised about that one as well. I was actually surprised about the whole Bengals offensive line. They weren't as bad as I thought they'd be.
They did give up 7 sacks.
He gave up 7 sacks, but there was a couple times that he had He did have a little more time than I expect him to have.
Yes, I did. Yeah, that's what I didn't expect him to have no time. I thought he was going to be under duress the whole entire game, like how we saw in the second half. And like I said, yeah, that play definitely with them running on 3rd and 1 was just
I don't hate the run play. It's the wrong guy. Like, why
Yeah,
is your
wrong guy
best
for
back in there? You know what I mean? Like, you have your backup guy who's 30 years old running on 3rd and 1 in the Super Bowl. Like, what do you think, Zach Taylor? What was going through your mind, dude? Like, were you stressed out? I mean, I understand the Super Bowl, but like, were you freaking out? Like, what's going on? I mean, that's just bad. I mean, Joe Mixon was having a day. He was having a good game.
Joe Mixon probably him or T. Higgins probably got MVP if they'd have won. I felt like,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think it was just one of those things. He was playing Madden out there, and they just automatically put the 3rd down back in on 3rd down, no matter the situation.
I swear that's the same play I run, bro. Madden ain't gonna lie, 3rd and 1. Like I'm just running up the HB die, bro.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump in with mine because I knew mine as soon as I wrote that down earlier. That my biggest surprise was how easy it was for the Bengals defense to shut down the Rams running game. Cam Akers has been going up against some tough teams as far as the run goes, so he hasn't had crazy good numbers anyways. But when you rush 13 times for 21 yards and they're right there at him as soon as he gets to the line of scrimmage, I mean, that was really, really surprising that the Bengals could stop the run that good.
Yeah, that was another thing I did forget to mention. That I'm glad you brought it up, but I was very surprised about the run stopping capabilities of the Bengals that game, and plus the linebacker Logan Wilson. That dude's starting to become a stud, man. I swear
He's pretty good. Yeah,
he's really good.
Yeah, Hubbard played well. Hendrickson played well. They were really getting after it on that D line for the Bengals. So I was definitely a little shocked they shut him down, but the Rams definitely, I think they came out. I don't know what the offense, they scored really quick and then they laid down really fast. So I don't know if that was game planning on the Bengals defensive side or what was going on, but they scored 2 quick touchdowns and you're like, okay, the Rams are probably about to pull away. And then they just didn't, they let the Bengals take control. You know what I mean? They let the Bengals score a touchdown, got it 13-10, and then it went.
Then you get the good old Matt Stafford, 2 interceptions, is normal.
Yeah. I thought he was going to completely throw the game away, bro. He threw that second pick. I was like, man, shit's over, bro. But that pass rush just picked up out of nowhere. I'm like, what did they figure out?
Yeah.
What did they figure out? I think they just started calling a lot of stunts up front that was just confusing the hell out of the Bengals offensive linemen.
Now, I will say, on that 4th and 1, Aaron Donald's play, homie was offsides.
Homie was offsides for sure.
His helmet was over the football. That's all I'll say there.
It's crazy, bro. The calls that don't be called, man. Never.
There's always stuff like that. Just the
just like the
sides against the Bengals. The Titans, when they were on offense, jumped off sides against the Bengals, and then Ryan Tannehill throws a pick. So you never know which way it's going to go.
Exactly. And just like it's like every Super Bowl has like one play that doesn't get called. Like you remember the Falcons that year when they played the Patriots in the overtime. James White, he literally did not score that play. I don't know if y'all noticed that in the end during overtime, he didn't even score. It's like. Man. It's like they'd be like, the referee's like, yo, I'm ready to go to fuck home, bro.
This is always interesting. I mean, we have 3 penalties in a row inside a 10-yard line to end the game. Well, for the Rams to go up.
Yeah, because they called that last in the goal line like really ticky tacky. Because that I'm gonna be honest, that Logan Wilson call, that one kind of threw me off because that one I thought it was just a good play. I mean, you have a linebacker on Cooper Kupp. And he makes a play like that, and you throw a flag. It's like, okay, even the announcers were like, I don't know about that. I mean, it was a very ticky-tacky little last drive for
That's
the Rams.
how all cornerbacks play the ball, man. They literally have that arm wrapped around the waist like that. It's like,
well, you either got to call it all game or not call it at all. You can't wait until the 4th quarter to call it.
Yeah. Well, let me just go.
Well, it was old that one, bro, because I mean, I ain't gonna lie, they missed that one with Ramsey on that.
Yeah, that one was pretty bad.
They about ripped my man head.
Yeah, let me just get my biased opinion in really quick. just so it's in here. I was just gonna say that the Logan Wilson one, I've just seen a lot of people say like 2 pass interferences in the end zone or in the red zone, all back to back. That I just have to say that defensive holding and pass interference are 2 different things. Defense holding means that they threw the flag before the ball was thrown, and him breaking the ball up in front of him had nothing to do with the call. It was just him holding him. I'm not saying that it should have been called holding, but I could see kind of where Cooper Kupp standing right there in the end zone, and it may have looked like he was going to run, and he was holding him from doing that before the ball was thrown.
It's crazy. You probably think if it was any other receiver, that flag may not be a call because they probably like, what the hell? Logan Wilson just did at the Kupp. Like, no way.
Yeah, that's guy. But also the other flags, like they're talking about, they're complaining because somebody hit Cooper Kupp in the end zone. Well, the flag was against the Rams on that play. Like that has. Why do they care about that hit? Yeah, it was a dirty hit, but people are using that hit against the Rams. Like they're saying that the Rams got a penalty called on the Bengals after a hit on Kupp in the red zone. I was like, no, the only reason that wasn't a touchdown and won the ball game was because Havenstein held on the outside. That's so the 3 penalty thing I don't understand. But I do understand the 2 penalties. It should have been called all game if they wanted to do it, but. You know, what are you going to do?
Now, the other
offense in the red zone stuff to stop.
The other PI on Eli Apple, that was pass interference for sure. That one was no doubt. He was holding on to him pretty strong. But the Logan Wilson one just seemed a little too for me to really be, like, okay, yeah, they should have called that. I mean, it was just really close. He really didn't grab a hold of him or anything like that. So I don't know. I mean, when you're in a game like that, though, and adrenaline's high, I guess you can. If it's close, I can see it going either way.
Yeah, you're right. But I would like to say that the whole playoffs have been very good refereeing. If this was all we have to complain about was, a linebacker grabbed a wide receiver and they called it holding, I think we got pretty lucky this playoff so far. So
you just hate to see it ending like that. That's my only thing about it. I don't like seeing a penalty win somebody a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't think it won it. But what was that play? That was what, third?
It was third and goal on the Cincinnati 8th whenever it happened. So even if that was an incomplete pass, the Rams would have had one more play to go, and they were going to go to Kupp in the end zone. So whether Eli Apple decided to hold on 4th and goal, or I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say they won the game based on a holding.
I'm just saying, I'd rather have 4th and goal than 1st and goal and the 1 yard line.
No, they didn't get on the 1 yard line there.
That was a hold. It was half the distance.
Yeah, half the distance. And then in the end zone, pass interference makes you on the 1. But since it wasn't pass interference and the ball wasn't in the air, they just got them halfway. So to the 4.
Yep. Yeah, bro, for sure, bro. But, hey, I got a question though, man. What you think about your boy AD thinking about retirement, Pete? Like, what do you think about that, man?
I can't blame him. I mean, what are you supposed to do? He's been in the league for 8 years. He's been All-Pro 7 of them, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Pro Bowls, and then now he's a Super Bowl champion. I mean, I would hate to see him leave, but I think the whole team's about to leave anyway, so might as well go ahead and hang him up while we're high.
Yeah, I mean, because like I said, if he leaves, like I said, he's got the resume. Like, that man ain't got to play another snap no more. He got to respect.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
he's a Hall of Famer for sure. But I think that I don't think he's not going to play. I think I think he might play like maybe 1 or 2 more years and then hang it up still kind of early. But I don't see him actually. I mean, he literally won the Super Bowl with a sack because Jamar Chase was open downfield. So I don't think he's going to hang it up after that. I mean, but you can't blame him if he did. That's the perfect time to do that.
Yeah.
It's the best way to go out, bro, as a champion.
I mean, does this Super Bowl solidify Matt Stafford as a Hall of Famer?
We're going to talk about that.
I mean, honestly, that's what I was going to say about how we feel about Matt Stafford. I mean, for this legacy, this is going to be very good for him because, like I said, now people is really starting to see, well, damn, how actually bad is Detroit?
Yeah,
from a quarterback to go from.
Well, Detroit. You see, they're career destroyers. I mean, they destroyed. I mean, Barry Sanders was probably the best running back ever. I mean, like, he's probably the most talented.
Yep,
but
right.
he didn't he didn't get the respect because he was in Detroit. Megatron was probably the most talented receiver. Didn't get the respect because he was in Detroit. And now you're going to see guys, it's unless they, I want to see Detroit kind of turn it around a little bit, but Detroit, I don't know if I've ever seen them, be actually good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Wow.
And of course, Richard Sherman had his way of talking about what it is. And he was throwing in Pro Bowls and All Pros and all this stuff. I mean, you have to think about the fact that Matthew Stafford was doing all this while Peyton Manning was in the league, while Tom Brady was in the league, while Drew Brees was in the league. If you're going to have an all-pro team, how many people are on it? One of each position. So he's not going to get all pros over Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning. And Pro Bowls, I get how Pro Bowls are like a big deal, but I don't think it signifies that much.
No, it doesn't.
It's not as big of a deal.
It's not
now.
big of a deal anymore. Like, so he's saying,
it's like, bro, you playing tag.
Yes, I'm saying, because Matthew Stafford is 12th all time in passing yards, and he has one Pro Bowl. Does that make any sense? Like, how does those two things equate? Is what I don't understand.
He's always been a good to above good player. I just don't know if he's always been great. Is the thing.
You've always had to say his name if you were going to name the top 5 quarterbacks in the league.
I personally always loved Matt Stafford. I think he's, he's a good guy. He's got a big arm. He's got a lot of heart in him. You know what I mean? So, I would put him in right now. But I think his next goal his next big thing that he needs to try to go for is an MVP.
He needs to get an MVP.
I think if he
go
ahead.
I don't think he needs an MVP, but I think that would, really push everyone over the edge. I think he gets in now, but I don't think – I think an MVP would just solidify it. You know what I'm saying?
Who was it? Richard Sherman posting all over social media about it?
Yeah.
Did y'all see
it
all
was
that?
Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
So I was saying that I don't understand is he supposed to be an all-pro over Tom Brady? Is he supposed to be an all-pro over Peyton Manning? There's a lot of people in the Hall of Fame that would not make it over those two if they were playing in the same time period. But Richard Sherman just says, he was playing in a good passing era. Well, we're in the era, and his name is relevant. That's what makes a Hall of Famer. You have to bring up their name if you talk about the era. So that's what I think.
I'm just saying this. If people consider him, what's his name, Matt Ryan, a Hall of Famer, we're going to consider Matthew Stafford a Hall of Famer for sure.
Matt Stafford is like 3 times the quarterback Matt Ryan is.
Yes.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Ryan's had some good seasons. He did win an MVP.
He's had some good seasons, but I don't know.
He does have an MVP, and he did that with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. He did that then.
He did that with Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
Yeah, he won that over them, and
that's true.
And he went to a Super Bowl, so we can't. Let's not downplay Matt Ryan.
That's what
at all.
I'm not saying that he never should be in the thing. I think if you win an MVP, you should be in the Hall of Fame. Like, if you're going to say you're the most valuable player that played in the league that season, how are you not one of the most valuable players for a decade? Because that's what they try to say. Like, in the MLB especially, they always are saying, oh, if you talk about an era, you have to say their name. That's what makes him a Hall of Famer. Well, for a decade, you were one of the 10 best players in the league that decade. If you win an MVP, you should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't think it should be a question.
Yeah. It really just depends on the rest of their resume. If they just win that MVP, you one good season, it's really not gonna, put you in. But and going back to the Pro Bowls, man. Lamar Jackson made the Pro Bowl this year. Lamar was not that good this year. He had the same numbers as Jalen Hurts. The Pro Bowls were stupid. That is a favorite contest now. It's no point.
It's nothing. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna say somebody shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because they have one Pro Bowl and they're Matt Stafford and they're top 15 all time in all passing stats, then I'm sorry, the Pro Bowl means nothing. You might as well throw everybody's Pro Bowls out the window.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool. It's fun to say you're a Pro Bowler, but it means nothing if you're not going to actually hold people up to that standard.
They need to take away the fans voting. I understand trying to get everybody involved, but voting in your favorite player isn't going to, that's not.
Yeah, fan voting is definitely not it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's certain teams that just don't have the same amount of fans. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bro. Like I said, yeah,
I
Pro
mean-
Bowl, like I said, it's just becoming a joke nowadays. Like,
Yeah,
It really is.
yeah, like you tell me, like, oh man, he don't deserve to get it. He didn't make the Pro Bowl. You know, the game we play 2-hand tag and watch a motherfucker just run right past you and not tackle him. Like,
Yeah, they should
Yeah.
just move to. They should just get rid of the Pro Bowl, and they should have, instead of like all pro, they should do like the NBA did, like first team, second team, third team, and that just be it. That's how you get your recognition. Is just being on
Like-
a thing.
Mac Jones was in the Pro Bowl this year. Come on.
yeah,
Come on, bro.
I don't know what the hate's about. I really don't understand the hate. I don't get it.
well, my man got the alternate probably, so it's like,
Did you see the gritty he hit?
yeah,
Did you see it?
Yeah.
pretty cringe.
Sure, man.
He said it was
I mean-
cringe.
Like, what?
He said pretty cringe.
I don't understand the hate. I don't get it. Y'all are gonna regret hating on him in a couple years.
You know, I'm
I
actually
feel
glad
like
he's
it's gonna be
away.
good though, man. He just needed. It's just hard to think about him, and after when I saw Kansas City and Buffalo play, like that shit, they look like some crazy shit waiting to happen in that AFC. Like for real. After seeing that game between them two, like that looks like.
I'm gonna still say it. I'm gonna still say it. Overtime rules change. Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl
Oh
this
yeah,
year.
they're going to Super Bowl easy.
Man.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say this. I don't think the Bengals make it past wild card next
Oh,
year.
bro, I think they're gonna be good next year because they now know what they need to do in the offseason. Solidify the
Yeah.
offensive line, and you probably gonna have a lot of players now in the NFL free agency that's going to now. Okay, I actually want to go to Cincinnati. It's a fun team. Like before,
Well,
no
you
one
saw-
wanted to go to Cincinnati.
You saw some inexperience in the Super Bowl. I mean, you saw some play calling that you could tell he hasn't been there like that.
Exactly.
You also got to give the GM credit because wasn't it like they said 7 of the 11 defensive starters weren't on the team 2 years ago or something crazy like
That's
that?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that you got to give the GM credit, but you also have to give Zach Taylor a little bit of credit there. I mean, that's 7 of your 11 defensive players have never seen your playbook, don't know how you like to coach, and then you bring him in, and all of a sudden you're in a Super Bowl with him. I mean, that's kind of impressive, but at the same time, yeah, you're right. He's young. He's got to make changes, but I think they're going to get some good free agency signings, and they're also like 3rd in cap room or something.
Well,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they're gonna have be able to get a lot of good offensive linemen for sure in the free agency, and definitely some maybe defensive players. Like
My
they're looking
issue-
pretty
Oh, yeah.
good.
My issue is their division. They have 2 teams that are a quarterback away from being elite,
I was just about to say that.
and the Ravens are healthy away, like getting healthy
Yeah,
from being really good. So you got to look at it like, okay, when we look at these rosters and we look at all this stuff, do we think the Bengals are going? Unless they got to make some good moves. Now they have the room to do it. They know what they need to do, which is protect Joe Burrow. Because I thought he popped his ACL in that game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
He still
And-
might have. I don't know if we have gotten to the bottom of that yet.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
tell
think
you, Denver ain't but a quarterback away.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Now
Just need a di-
hold on. Before we get into any deep conversations, we are going to get into that stuff when the divisions come up, because that is going to be a whole conversation. I promise. I promise.
Yeah.
You can come back on for the AFC or what are they?
AFC
AFC
West, yeah.
AFC West. The Broncos are. Yeah, you're right. They'll come back on that because I agree with you a lot. So
Yeah,
I can see the Bengals. They're going to be good. I don't think they're as bad. I think the Ravens are their biggest problem. I don't think the Steelers and the Browns are going to hold them back that much.
The Steelers ain't but a quarterback away, really.
You give
I
the
don't
Steelers
really
a good
think so.
quarterback. That
If
team
they,
is
because
scary.
no, I don't think so. I think
Get
they,
Deshaun Watson, bro.
Or Russell
if
Wilson.
they get Deshaun
Boy,
Watson,
Russ.
they don't. I don't think
Someone's
so.
got to open it up for Najee.
Yeah.
That's my
They
thing.
do
They
have
don't-
to do that, but the thing is that who knows what characters are on that team, and then if Mike Tomlin retires or they get rid of him because they're not happy with him after 15 500 or better seasons, I mean, he's dealt with a lot of characters. Who knows what characters are on that team right now? And if another coach goes in there and they can't handle what's in there, a quarterback's not going to make a difference.
Well, we know Claypool's a dumbass.
Yeah, they should just get rid of him.
Yeah, my boy.
You understand? He's dealt with AB, Le'Veon, Claypool. I mean, all Juju. Like he's a great coach to deal with all these people and make them actually relevant.
It's still weird.
That's correct, bro.
I'd like to see Andy Reid deal with those guys.
Yeah, which he probably wouldn't even say no. He just take it. But nah, bro. Like I said, man, the Ravens. Like I said, I feel like they're really their biggest threat, and I wouldn't be too scared of them. I'm sorry, I wouldn't be too scared of the Ravens. Like Lamar Jackson still hasn't proved to us that this dude can freaking throw the football. You know?
Yeah, nah.
He still hasn't. He's still in that. You know, he's on his way there. I mean, he's improving, but still hasn't truly proved to us he can be that elite passer. You know.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't think they have the right coach there for how Lamar Jackson plays. I think they could do a lot better with what they're doing. He's a game changer with his legs. I don't think there's a coach out there really that can do what they could possibly do with him. I think in 20 years there will all be Lamar Jacksons, but
personally, I like his little mini me more than him.
That style of play just don't win Super Bowls, bro.
Yeah, it is fact. So, like I said, I don't know any of like a true mobile running quarterback that's won a Super Bowl.
No,
unless we have to go back way back in history in the 1920s. Shit, like
that's Eli.
That play style ain't never won, and I think teams are starting to realize that it's not going to, and you need a guy that's going to sling the football.
Yeah, I'd rather have somebody who goes like 283 with 2 interceptions.
Are you talking shit about Matt Stafford right now?
Slightly.
That was funny.
I mean, you got to say the mobile quarterback thing may come and go or whatever, but of course, college is always the testing ground for the NFL. It doesn't matter what's going on. But I can tell you this, that the spread offense is going to be the standard in the NFL coming soon.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to have a mobile-ish quarterback to do that. Like, if you put a Aaron Rodgers or a Matt Stafford in Joe Burrow situation in that spread offense, they're not going to be successful. You have to be slightly mobile to get out of situations and get like 3 or 4 yards.
Shit, Aaron Rodgers can move, boy.
All right, we're going to save it for the next one. Okay. I'm just saying, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, in the spread offense, you have to get 4 or 5 yards rushing because the defense has to drop back and cover you. That's
I like the whole getting athletes. You know what I'm saying? Guys that can, got like big arm guys that have. Can you?
Josh Allen.
My dog's being annoying, but like, big athletes. Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen.
I wouldn't call them like mobile quarterbacks, but they were quarterbacks that can move a lot better than the quarterbacks of 10 years ago.
Yeah, 100%. So guys,
you're right.
You know, just big time athlete guys can really are probably what we're looking for now. I think they're starting to look for more raw talent, like guys like Trey Lance,
Malik Willis.
Don't say Sam Howell right now. Let's not get into that one.
We're gonna get into it.
Yeah, just not right now. We're not going into Sam Howell, but
we'll have a draft show where we talk so good about Sam Howell.
I would love to be there.
Yeah,
you said you want to be there.
The guy about Sam Howell.
Oh, we're buddies now. You got it.
I don't hate Sam Howell, but I'm not gonna.
That offensive line let him down all year. I'm telling you.
You got that right. You know what? We're a college football playoff podcast now. So, Sam Howell, what do you think about him?
I mean, he set the record for the most missed tackles.
Yeah, every game I watched that man run playing, bro, he was running for his life, bro. I swear.
I'm telling you,
he was making him do, bro.
And the ACC gave him no protection.
No credit.
The ACC gave him no protection. Like, teams would literally, like, if he was sliding, they would tackle him while he was going to the ground, and they would just never call a flag on. They would kill him on the sidelines too.
The way it started, I think if they had an offensive line, him and Josh Downs would have set some records.
Yeah, Josh
yeah.
Down. That's a nut. Yeah, that dude there.
I mean, he was averaging like 11, 12 receptions a game.
Yeah.
Josh Downs was the reason for like a good chunk of his passing yards this year, because I don't know if y'all saw it, but a lot of times he was just checking down to Josh Downs and he was making
take
people
off.
miss.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
It's crazy. But yeah, we'll get into that also on our NFL draft episode.
but guys like Zach Wilson, Trevor Lawrence, all these guys, they've got big arms. They're good, but they're also good athletes as well. They can move. They can make people miss. You know what I mean? So that's definitely the quarterback a lot of people are starting to look for now, and someone that they can teach and learn the game a little bit better, rather than someone that's just as polished. Big,
it's moving that direction big time.
Yeah.
I'm
got to be able to move.
Hater.
All right. So
But
when we
he's
do
gonna
the
come into his
AFC
own.
South, you will be on also, Jim. You keep solidifying spots for yourself. I got to give you credit.
He keeps throwing out random names. I'm no Trevor Lawrence hater.
Well, that's
I
just
just
the
wanted to-
standards we have here. And
I just
he's
ain't
on
gonna lie,
the
like,
podcast
be
I
now.
mean, I'm like my boy Chum, bro. Like the best quarterback I see play at Clemson, bro, is my boy Deshaun Watson, bro.
Deshaun Watson's going to play football again. That's the problem.
And we don't know because, like I said, this still is a weird situation with him. Like we would have known something by now.
I don't know if we need to. Yeah.
I think it's more legal now.
Yeah, it's more legal now, so that makes us legally out of it. So, makes us legally not involved for us to legally have our YouTube video put up. I don't know.
Sean handled that.
Yeah, he can go, but the podcast has to stay. Did y'all have any other thoughts or anything about the game? Really quick?
That's really about it.
That's about all I thought. I thought the Rams couldn't run the ball. The defenses were impressive, and it's kind of crazy how that game turned out.
Yeah, that pass rush stepped up at the end for y'all, man. That's really
not just the pass rush, the defense on the front. Like when it was 3-1 and Aaron Donald held them back. Like,
man, you can't lie. If y'all that pass rush did not pick up like it did in that second half,
y'all
Bengals about to
They
walk
would've
all
lost.
over.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah.
But I don't know what clicked in their head. I just know when I was watching them, like their D line, it was running a lot of stunts up front, and the defensive line or the offensive line for the Bengals did not know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, let me just clear something up really quick about the whole, I'm a Rams fan, all this stuff. I didn't think that we were going to win this game. Like,
Really?
Like,
I thought y'all were gonna win this game.
I thought we were going to win when coming into the game. And then, like AJ said, we got up 2 scores, and then I got nervous because I was like, if we get up 2 scores, there's nothing that's going to – but we can't perform with the lead. And then OBJ goes down. And then we're trying to throw the ball to Van Jefferson, and he can't catch the ball to save his life. I mean, obviously he had stuff on his mind. He was having a kid at the same time. But
yeah,
it was like – if you would have asked me in the second quarter, is the Rams going to win this game? No. The Bengals were controlling the ball. The Rams offense couldn't get anything going, and it was tough. And I would have said the only thing that could save the Rams is the defense, and that's what actually ended up happening. Like, I wasn't hell-bent on saying the Rams are going to win. The Bengals played really good for a couple quarters, and it was scary.
I am not talking shit about Matt Stafford at all here, but I've said it multiple times. That
So
guy
go ahead and talk shit about him.
forces some passes that he shouldn't. And those two mistakes. He threw 2 interceptions.
That second interception was not on him. Okay.
Okay.
The guy tried to one-hand catch it, and I don't even. The no-name looks like a hockey player tried to catch it one-handed, and gets tipped. You don't tip, like receivers got to understand something. You don't tip the ball up into the air. It's
you're not
98% of the time it's a pick, and he tipped it straight up in the air, and it was a pick. I don't put the second one on Matt Stafford, but he does try to force the ball sometimes. Now, I will say he kind of had to force it to Cooper Kupp at the end of the game, so I don't blame him there. Get it to your best player, but that second pick was not on Matt Stafford.
I think the Rams played good. I think The defense obviously played a lot better, but it really surprised me based on how the Rams came out that the Bengals kept it. Like they got so much control throughout the game. I mean, I would put a little bit on that on Sean McVay. I really don't like when coaches are like, "Hey, I keep running the ball for 1 yard per down, and I'm going to keep doing it. Like, quit. Why are you doing it? If all of their weapons are focused on stopping your run game, throw the ball maybe once. Like I've never understood that, especially when you have Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp for half the game, Odell. Go ahead and throw the ball, but I don't know. I can't stand when they.
I think he really
waste
like
the game away. They waste the game away.
When Odell went out, man, I think that's kind of what shook him up a little bit. You know, McVay and some of his play calling, because I was like, bro, Odell's going off. I'm like, damn, they were about to beat the Bengals' ass, bro. You know, the way it was going off, bro.
You're right.
I was happy to see the Odell performance.
Yeah, for sure. I'm very happy for him, man.
Too, because he's not going to be back the next year too. That's what's bad.
Yeah, torn ACL. That does suck.
He's gonna have a tough comeback. Yeah,
he tore ACLs in both of the knees. So damn.
No, it's the same knee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Because that's why I was telling you about that fantasy football guy. It makes no sense why he's talking about it. Odell. Like, he literally had that same ACL rebuilt, and then it just gave out. Like, that's not his fault. You can't train for a surgically repaired ACL.
Shout out my boy fantasy football counselor.
Never. Never follow it. Never. Do not. That's the worst person. He saw Cooper Kupp drop one pass 2 weeks ago and said, "This is what I was telling you guys. Cooper Kupp is
the worst wide receiver in the NFL.
He has dropped 4 passes like per year in his career."
We want to talk about Carter said Robert Woods is 10 times better than
oh my
Cooper
God!
Kupp
Don't bring Carter into this
all year long.
He did say he would always say, "Oh, Robert Woods is the best receiver on that team." And I'm like, come on, man. Let's not.
He's had the best receiving season ever.
Hold on. I get Robert Woods got hurt a little more than halfway through the season. Cooper Kupp was doing really, really good, but I would say they're like Cooper Kupp's 1, and then like Robert Woods is like 1.5.
No.
I don't think they would have. What I'm saying is, I think that Cooper Kupp is so good. Like, they ended up using him so much more because he's so good. Yep. When Robert Woods went down, I think if Robert Woods was still playing, Cooper Kupp would have not gotten the numbers he would have gotten. But Cooper Kupp is so good that he can.
4 games.
I think, I was saying Cooper Kupp is so good that he was going to get the stats. But
no,
I think
he's well over 1,000-yard receiver either way.
The biggest thing for Cooper Kupp was Matt Stafford. Stafford because I mean Cooper was not this good with golf. Plain and simple.
No,
wasn't. And then Matt Stafford comes in, he builds his chemistry with this new quarterback, and even with Robert Woods there, Cooper Kupp was still going off. I mean, he had because I'm a big fantasy guy, so I kept up with all this stuff. And he was still, going off even with Woods there. And Woods was, he was having maybe a touchdown or two, every now and then. But he wasn't doing what normally, because before this year, Robert Woods was the guy over Cooper Kupp. But after this year, I don't think it's as close as people think.
No, obviously now it's not. But that's what I was saying. Like, coming into the year, you couldn't blame somebody for calling them both 1.5. Like, they were wide receivers 1.5. Like, they weren't. Neither one was better than the other. Obviously, Cooper Kupp's better now, but can't blame too many people for it. But
no, not at all. No.
I wish we could have seen Cam Akers for a full season.
I do agree with that.
You're going to see him, and you're going to see him in my fantasy league because
Facts.
I traded. Who did I trade? I traded Saquon Barkley and Hollywood for Cam Akers and Michael Thomas in a keeper league.
Dynasty league? We talking here?
Yeah, dynasty league. Yeah. So I'm going to keep.
I'm about to say what the hell?
You can keep 6. You can keep 6 players per, and I thought that was a pretty good trade because the Giants will never be good. And then
Michael Thomas, bro. Michael Thomas was probably
top
3 going into
I think
last
Michael
year.
Thomas is really, really good. The only thing that made me doubt Michael Thomas was Julio Jones. That scared me a little bit. I was like, okay, these quarterbacks, they have a weakness. And if I just traded Marquise Brown for Michael Thomas to come back hurt, I'm scared.
He needs to get out of New Orleans. It's time.
Yeah.
He needs to leave. He
I'm
needs to
about
get
to say,
traded.
bro. That's
He
we
needs
got
a fresh start.
we got. Trust me, we have got a. We're
Yeah, we
going to
got
get us
that
a
coming.
show on that for sure. That's gonna
I
be
didn't
interesting.
really like the Giants comment right there. I'm not a Giants fan or nothing, but that team probably was the most hurt team in football.
They
this
suck.
year.
Don't get it.
Yeah,
twisted. They're
and that's
terrible.
another. Like I said, they're another one of those teams.
And
A
you're coming
quarterback
back
away.
for the NFC East.
Oh, get me in on the NFC East. I can go on for that.
On
that
paper, that team should be good, minus Daniel Jones, maybe.
Kenny Galladay showed he's overrated.
Yeah,
Kenny Galladay's not good. All of them.
He didn't
aren't
have any-
good.
he didn't
I mean,
have
I
any
don't know
help
anybody
this
just good. Who's
Daniel
good on
Jones
that
is
team?
horrible.
Who's
They
good on the
spent a
team?
first round. They spent a first round pick and $72 million to get 2 wide receivers. They had 1 touchdown between the 2 of them. What?
Yeah, I really don't know who's good on that team.
Well,
Like,
Sterling Shepard
come on.
didn't play seven
Sterling
games.
Shepard
Sterling
hasn't-
Shepard was out every
hasn't-
week.
Yeah, Sterling Shepard hasn't
Yeah.
been good in 3 years. I think
I mean-
Sterling Shepard was a big deal when I started fantasy, like 4 or 5 years ago.
I
Saw
would
bright
almost-
spots from Kadarius Toney.
Yes.
Yeah, but he fell off after his first big game. He had 10
Couldn't get
catches,
him the
180
damn
yards.
ball.
And then just said,
and I think Jones got hurt too at the end.
Yeah, Jones had those concussions.
Damn, Colt
Yeah.
McCoy came in the game.
Jones sucks anyways, fellas. Quit acting like he's good. He's not. Jones is horrible.
Oh yeah.
He's
I
getting-
I mean,
I-
you're
like I
not
said,
wrong. Yeah, I mean, but hey, hold on. We're going to talk about this. We can't
Oh,
keep,
yeah.
we can't keep divulging our thoughts on the episodes before the before the
just-
division.
It's hard because you get on this podcast and you're talking about football, and then you're just like, you hear something, and you're like, all right, let me jump on that. You know
Well,
what I mean?
it's the end of the season. We're kind of getting everybody ready for
No,
next
these
season.
division talks gonna be fun. I know that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
really fun because
For all
you
the
have
people
4
listening.
different teams. You got 4 different opinions, and then 4 different people talking about those opinions. So
For all these people listening, this free agency, trades, the
That's what I'm saying. We're gonna-
draft. This is going to start heating up, and it's going to get good here soon because
Yeah,
is
'cause
going
we're
to be
gonna-
interesting.
we're gonna go right through it for each division. It's gonna be a lot of fun because you actually get to follow the free agency and all that stuff, even though you think that a free agency class is really good and then they end up being bad or they end up being better than you thought. It's gonna be fun, but I can't wait for it.
for
I don't
sure.
know.
Yeah, I think we want to close out on that, Mr. Holland, man. Good on
It's
that.
up to y'all. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're all good. I got all my points across.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say, y'all can go and do it. I'll just really quickly drop.
I got
the fact that,
one last question.
okay,
do,
good.
any of y'all think that either of these teams will be back next year?
No,
No.
Mm-mm,
Okay.
no.
Just making sure we're all on the same page there.
the Rams will be bankrupt and not relevant. So
I think the Bengals will be back in the playoffs. I don't think they have a Super Bowl run in them next year.
no,
Okay.
I mean the Rams don't have any of these players.
We just, that's a
So
question
it
I had
has
to
happen.
we'll have to better
We'll do it.
answer once free agency hits. Like after all that
Well,
goes through.
Okay, let's just one more thing real quick. We can just fast. Let's just drop a random who do we think's in the Super Bowl next year? And we can look back at this a year from now. And if one of us guesses it correctly, we can go crazy. All right.
Okay, go.
I got my team,
Go
Seattle
clockwise. Hold
Seahawks
on.
versus the Bengals. Not the Bengals, but the Bills.
What
got
are
my
you
team.
smoking?
I got my Seattle
Okay.
Seahawks against the Bills, boys.
All right, so he started with Jordan. Go counterclockwise. So Chum, AJ, then go.
I'm gonna take. Oh man, I want to take the Bills, and it really just depends on what happens with quarterbacks. I don't know if Kyler Murray ends up with the Bucks. I'm going with Bills Bucks.
No. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm going to call it. Chiefs. All right, out of the AFC. Pat Mahomes is getting back. Pat Mahomes is the new legacy. He's getting back. And NFC's tricky because there's a lot of things about to shake up.
Yeah, I was having a problem with the NFC.
Yeah, NFC's gonna be tricky, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I think the boys can be in there.
Oh shit!
Chiefs, Cowboys. You know what I'm saying?
Right?
Is Dak still gonna be throwing the ball?
Yeah, I'd rather have Dak than Mac. That's for sure.
Yeah, fuck Dak.
All right, yep. So let me go get my pick in real quick. Yeah, Dak will cash a check and then sit at home is what he's going to do because it's going to
I
be.
hope so.
Give me Cooper Rush.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, it's going to be. I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be Chiefs Bucks again, I think. And I'm going to get into. We'll get into the divisions later. I think it's going to be Chiefs Bucks, and you don't know who the quarterback for the Bucks might be. So,
All right.
I think I knew who it's going to be.
Me too.
That was a good idea. Good job, AJ.
I got a few choices, I think, on that one too. But that's something I guess, we'll have spiced up for the next episode for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to pick a division. Do y'all have any recommendations real quick for what division you want to start with?
Do you want to start in NFC or AFC?
Let's go ahead and
NFC.
start with the Cowboys division.
All right. So, you know what? Let's just. Okay. You want to
sure
go
wanna
Cowboys
start with
first?
NFC East? I mean,
That's not it.
That's a number, like, that's a top division, like when it comes to talking about them. So I think we just ease into it a little bit.
Start hot.
Yep.
Because
Got that right.
there's a lot of opinions in the NFC East. So
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's go to the NFC East first because nobody's going to sign anybody that's worth anything, and they're not going to draft
That's
anybody that's worth
facts.
anything. So,
okay, we just drafted
good
Mike
job,
Parsons.
AJ.
Slow,
You got to.
slow you roll.
You guys drafted one person that did.
Okay, we've had a couple good drafts. CD Lamb, Trey Diggs, Micah. We've had a few good ones.
I'm gonna say Micah Parsons is the best pickup that team's done.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
25 years, probably.
That kid is a player.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
he'll definitely be a defense player of the year soon.
Let's just. I think we save the NFC East.
That's what I was thinking. Because
Yeah,
that's
save
a
it
lot
for
of
a couple
opinions
weeks
there.
because I think there's gonna be a lot of like drops and stuff in that in that division.
You need to
that
jump
might-
into someone that's kind of more straightforward.
There's a couple
More
of those. I think.
Yeah,
What's a good division for that?
AFC.
I think AFC West is going to be the easiest one because they're talking about
Probably.
Derek Carr signing a $40 million a year contract and stuff. I think that's easy to talk about because he's worth all of $15 million a year. So
come on, 25.
yeah, well, I think we work our way up. I don't know.
Say the best for the last, bro.
We could do the AFC East. I mean, that's a pretty crap hole
Hey,
division besides the Bills.
Yeah,
okay.
besides the Bills. Yeah, you're
Okay.
right. Yeah, that's a good one actually.
They are gonna
They're
eat
not going to
those
sign
words.
anybody. I mean, the Dolphins are going to be the best team in that division. I don't know.
It might be.
Oh, they're going to be for sure.
I mean, it might be.
Dolphins are stupid.
I mean, they might be stupid. They got some talent.
I don't know if
All
Bobby
right.
D, I think he needs to retire, man.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to put on the Instagram stories, if you've listened this far, we're going to post some stuff. Comment what you think the division we talk about should be. That's going to be the easiest way, or comment on the YouTube. Just give us anything. Somebody tell us what division you want. We'll make that the division. How about that? So that's the easiest way to do it.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good.
All right. And then we're going to be Chill V Podcast on Instagram. Email us at chillvibessportspod@gmail.com. And you know what? We hooked up a TikTok also. So Chill V Podcast as well on TikTok. So you want to, I mean, we're going to keep expanding to different media. So y'all jump along for the ride.
The
I'm
more
gonna let Pate handle TikTok. I don't even know what that shit even about.
I don't know what it is either, but
Oh,
I'm going
dude,
to
get on TikTok. It's hilarious.
I'm going to take AJ talking about The Simpsons and I'm going to put it on TikTok. That's what I'm going to do. So
Didn't work out for me, man.
didn't work out for you. Did not work out for you. Somehow people drawing cartoons didn't predict the Super Bowl. So
Look, I'm rolling with the
Don't know
Simpsons
what
the
to
rest of my life. They have hit too many times.
That's
well,
what
they
I'm
lost
saying.
AJ some money. So
I did
Can't
bet the
blame
Rams in my actual pick.
He did bet the Rams.
Roll the clip. I'm just kidding. We can't do that. But
can't do that. But you did roll the Simpsons. So
I said my actual pick was 24-21.
no, I got you.
Rams.
No, you were
Roll that
you actually did get pretty close on that actual pick. So yeah. Just let us know division. We'll start with that one. We'll start breaking down every one. hopefully AJ and old Chomsky's back for the next ones too. So that's gonna be funny and a good time. And follow us on all those platforms. And I hope y'all have a great week. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.
Peace.
See you both.